Alison Marchese was a teacher whose arrest shocked her school district and quickly turned into a national true crime story. At the time, Marchese was working as a high school teacher and was seen by students and parents as someone in a position of trust and authority. That image began to fall apart when investigators received reports that she had been involved in inappropriate relationships with students. According to police, the investigation revealed that Marquez allegedly engaged in sexual relationships with multiple students over a period of time. These were not isolated accusations. Authorities claimed that several students came forward describing encounters that took place both on and off school grounds. Law enforcement said the relationships were discovered after concerns were raised by people close to the students. Once police became involved, they began reviewing messages, photos, and other digital evidence that allegedly supported the claims. In the arrest affidavit, investigators stated that Marquez was accused of abusing her position as a teacher to gain access to students and blur boundaries that should never be crossed. Because the students were under her supervision and care, prosecutors argued that consent was not legally possible, regardless of how the relationships were described. Marquez was eventually arrested and charged with multiple counts related to sexual misconduct with students. The charges reflected the seriousness of the allegations and the number of individuals involved. Following her arrest, the school district placed her on leave and later terminated her employment. Officials released statements emphasizing their commitment to student safety and cooperation with law enforcement. The case drew widespread attention online, not just because of the allegations, but because it fit into a larger and uncomfortable pattern involving teachers and students. Many people questioned how the behavior went unnoticed for as long as it did, and whether warning signs had been missed. Marquez's legal team maintained her right to due process as the case moved through the court system. As with all criminal cases, the charges represented allegations, and the legal process would determine responsibility. For the students involved, the case highlighted the long-term impact that abuse of authority can have, especially in environments where trust is expected. The Alison Marchese case became another reminder of how power dynamics in schools can be exploited, and why safeguards, reporting systems, and accountability are critical when it comes to protecting students.
A Madison teacher is under arrest accused of sexually assaulting a student.
After a month-long investigation, Alison Marchese, a teacher at Daniel High School, was charged today. News 8's Jason Newton has been following the story from the very beginning. He joins us live from Madison tonight with the very latest. Jason.
Yeah, that's right, Keith. Over a month ago, News 8 was first to bring you this story when it was allegations of sexual conduct between a teacher and a student that has now resulted in the arrest of Alison Marchese, the high school teacher at Daniel High. And now we do want to warn some of the younger viewers out there that some of the images you're about to see are graphic in nature. 37-year-old Alison Marchese turned herself in to Madison police Wednesday night, facing charges she had sex with a student from Daniel High. The news spread quickly around the small town of Madison.
It's going to destroy her entire family, absolutely, as well as the family of the child that was affected.
During the investigation, News 8 obtained some racy photos of Alison Marchese that were shared through social media. We blurred the images since the teacher was almost nude.
We don't want any rush to judgment, so this one we made sure that we had all the evidence we needed in order to substantiate this arrest.
Allegations first came to light on January 7. The school resource officer contacted detectives who immediately began the 5-week investigation.
Wow. I'm floored a little bit about it because I've never run into anything like this before in my life.
Neighbors in Marchese's community say her husband is also an educator in Madison, and that sorrow is felt for him and their 2 small children.
It's one of those things that happens, and you deal with it. This is, as I say, I can't be angry about it because I just don't know.
And now Marchese is out of custody after posting a $100,000 bond. We spoke with the superintendent of schools here in Madison earlier today, and he tells us that the school system is moving aggressively to remove Marchese from her position. That's the very latest. Live in Madison tonight, Jason Newton, News 8.
How you doing there, guys? So, recently at the end of these videos, been giving a bit of my opinions on what's going on. And while I was actually editing this, I was thinking about like why once again do these people do what they do, and specifically from a female perspective. This is what I came up with, right? I came up with this theory, and I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below, whether you agree or disagree. What I think it is that these grown adults, right? I think they know that if they, let's say 27-year-old female, right? I think if a 27-year-old female knows if she goes to a 27-year-old male, right? What she may do to him in the bedroom, it might not be that exciting, right? Think about it, bro. We're both grown adults. We both had experiences probably, right? It's probably not going to be that exciting. So what I think these female teachers pursue children for is the thrill. I believe that since these are young minds, right, and they're impressionable, and a lot of times these are going to be some of their first sexual experiences, I think these female teachers, they almost get like a high out of shocking you with what they can do. Do you understand? Because with a grown adult, he's not going to be too impressed, right? But think about it. A child, that's all they think about. That's all they, even if you go on these adult websites, you know, that's the main thing that they're pushing, the teacher student. That's all they think about. So they know that them going to a young child or a young adult, that what they're going to be doing to the young adult is going to be a lot more exciting than it would be to an adult male, if that makes sense. So I just thought about that. I think it's a theory of mine. I don't know. Mate, there's probably something to psychologically back that up too, because I don't think it's too far-fetched at all. I think they prey on young children because they get more of excitement doing stuff with young children, because these young children's are very, you know, these are new experiences to them. So it's going to be a lot more exciting than it would be to an adult male once again. So just let me know what you guys think personally. But yeah, I'll make sure to keep covering these videos, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.